There were some incredible games to kick off the college football season last week. There were some matchups that lived up to the hype, while there were also games that came out of nowhere and surprised us with how exciting they were. Well, we have another great slate of games this weekend. It was hard, but I narrowed today's list down to the 10 best games of week 2. Before we get to today's video, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. I'll be posting college football videos all season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. The biggest game of the week is one of the most hyped games of the entire season. Number 1 Alabama travels to Austin to take on Texas. A very rare non-conference road game for Alabama, so make sure to take it all in. This will be the 9th time these teams will meet, with the Longhorns dominating the all-time series, winning 7 games with a tie. But Alabama won the last game and arguably the most important game of the series, winning the national championship. Fast forward to 2022, and this is a pretty big game. As of right now, the Tide are expected to wipe the floor with Texas as they're a 20-point favorite. The Longhorns are going to be pulling off quite the upset if they're able to shock Alabama. There are a lot of expectations for Texas this season. If they were to somehow win this game, maybe Texas will truly be back. This is going to be an interesting one to watch. I feel like the Longhorns should be able to hang around in this game, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see Nick Saban win this one by 28 points or so. We have a battle between two SEC teams looking to make a run this year, as South Carolina travels to number 16 Arkansas. The Razorbacks are coming off an impressive victory over Cincinnati last week. KJ Jefferson put the team on his back in the victory as he accounted for all of the touchdowns. Meanwhile, you have South Carolina, who's coming off a 21-point victory over Georgia State. I think this low-key can be a pretty exciting matchup. I think Arkansas has what it takes to be a top 10 team in the nation this year, but South Carolina is a team on the rise, and this will be quite the upset for them. Maybe this is Spencer Rattler's coming out party that puts his name back on the college football map. Number 6 Texas A&M hosts Appalachian State, but don't overlook this game. This is a Mountaineers team that dropped 60 points last week against North Carolina. With that being said, they also allowed 60 points as well. Going into College Station will be a daunting task for App State, but I don't think they're a stranger to winning games in a hostile environment. Now, I'm not saying the Mountaineers are going to pull off the upset, but I certainly think that they're going to be able to hang around with the offense they have. Texas A&M quarterback Haynes King looked solid last week, but he did have a few interceptions. They didn't cost the Aggies, but this is an App State team who can easily take advantage. After a thrilling win last week in the backyard brawl, number 17 Pittsburgh hosts number 24 Tennessee. The Panthers have won all 3 games in the history of the series, including last season when they won by 7 in Tennessee. I think this has the chance to be a really fun game this weekend. Pittsburgh is one of the better teams in the ACC, and Tennessee is an up-and-coming team in the SEC looking to make their own run in the conference. They dropped 60 points in their opener last week, and I think the points are going to be adding up in this contest. This is a huge matchup for both teams, as a win over a ranked opponent can help shoot them up the rankings. Adding a quality win like this early on can really boost their season. After a thrilling last-second victory over Utah, the number 12 Gators welcomed the 20th ranked Kentucky Wildcats to the Swamp. The Gators were ranked 10 in the country last year when these two teams met, with the Wildcats pulling off the victory. Can Kentucky play spoiler 2 seasons in a row? We talked all week about this Florida team and just how impressive they were last week, but maybe they're just a one-hit wonder. This is going to be a huge game for them as they need to prove whether or not they're legitimate. Meanwhile, for Kentucky, they're looking to prove that they're a force in the SEC as well. If they're able to go into the Swamp and take down this Gators team, maybe we'll need to put the Wildcats in a higher discussion. We have a sneaky good top 25 matchup as number 9 Baylor heads to Provo to take on number 21 BYU. The Bears lead the all-time series 2-1, with them picking up the victory at home last season. Baylor finds themselves inside the top 10 and are going to be fighting for a potential playoff spot later this year. Meanwhile, BYU is 22-4 over the last 3 seasons, one of the best records in the entire country. Provo is a wild place to play, especially at night. I think this is going to be a really hard game for the Bears, and I'm not kidding when I say this, but it could be their toughest game of the entire season. If they win, they'll add a top 25 win to their resume. For BYU, they have a legitimate shot of shooting up the rankings. They play a number of ranked teams this season, so if they pick up a top 10 win, they could find themselves in the top 10 very soon. I don't think either team is going to be in the playoffs this year, but if one of them somehow makes it, it's going to be largely due to picking up a win in this game. Iowa State plays at Iowa this week. Honestly, this game probably shouldn't even be on here, as this is a battle between two very underwhelming teams. But it's a huge rivalry, and rivalries are always pretty exciting. Iowa leads the all-time series 46-19 and have won 6 straight matchups. At this point in time, I don't think you could even pay me to watch Iowa football. I'm not trying to watch 20 punts in one game with 90 yards of total offense. But, like I said, it's a rivalry game, so I know a lot of people are going to be tuning in. Don't look now, but USC is ranked inside the top 10. Well, they travel to Stanford, a team that seems to always ruin their season. The Trojans have won only 6 of their last 16 meetings with the Cardinal. They infamously lost back in 2007 as the number 2 team in the country. They lost in 2009 as the number 11 team. Back in 2012, they lost as the number 2 team in the nation. In 2015, they lost as the number 6 team. And last year, they lost as the number 14 team. So essentially, the University of Stanford was founded in order to ruin USC's dreams on a year-to-year basis. Well, this season, USC is ranked number 10 for this matchup. This is one of the more hyped USC teams in recent memory, so this game is truly going to be a big test for them. Stanford isn't as good as they were in a lot of those previous matchups, but the Cardinal always give the Trojans a hard time. It's only Thursday, but USC is already on upset watch. We have a Pac-12 after dark game that honestly might be worth staying up for. Mississippi State will travel to Arizona, as these two teams will meet for the first time ever. The Bulldogs are one of the better offensive teams in the country, while Arizona is coming off a very impressive win on the road at San Diego State. This is a Wildcats team that won only one game over the last 2 years, so they've already matched it this season. All offseason, I talked about the Wildcats being a team who's going to be much better and could potentially make a run in the Pac-12. Well, facing an SEC team at 8 p.m. in Arizona is a fantastic test for them. This is a great matchup for Arizona, as this is a Mississippi State team who's looking to build off their Week 1 win over Memphis. I think this has a chance to be an exciting back-and-forth game that's going to come down to the final possession. Like I mentioned, it starts at 8 p.m. Pacific, so for those East Coasters out there who want to stay up until 2 a.m. watching a game, this is the one for you. We'll wrap things up with another late night game as Oregon State travels to Fresno State. This is going to be the 14th matchup between the two schools, with Fresno State leading 8-5. This is actually going to be the first game between the two programs since 2003. This is a fascinating matchup as both programs are coming off of fantastic 2021 campaigns. The Bulldogs won 10 games last season and are the team to beat in the Mountain West. Meanwhile, for the Beavers, they're coming off their first 7-win season since 2013. They also took down Boise State last week in dominating fashion. This isn't a matchup between two top 25 teams or two teams who are going to be in the playoff discussion, but if you want a late night game between two evenly matched teams looking to start the season 2-0, then this is a perfect game to tune into. Well, those are the 10 games I'm looking forward to the most this weekend. Which game on this list are you most excited for? Or was there a matchup that I didn't include in today's video that should have been on here? Whatever game you want to talk about, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you love college football, then this is definitely the place for you. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be posting videos every day during the college football season, so make sure to subscribe if you're a huge college football fan. Also, if you could take a second and drop a like on this video, I would greatly appreciate it as well. It helps out with that confusing YouTube algorithm, and it helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.